notice how gently the night had arrived, not stepping in. We're sailing around everything that was already here. The room didn't resist it, neither did I. My hand rested against the fabric of my sleeve, feeling the quiet warmth that stayed with me. Outside, a distant reflection moved slowly across the window, then faded into somewhere beyond reach. I didn't try to follow. There was peace in letting things remain where they belong, and trusting the moment to complete itself. My breathing stayed soft, natural, unforced. Somewhere between stillness and awareness, I realized I wasn't waiting anymore. I was already inside what I had been searching for. The air moved gently across my face, carrying nothing I needed to release. I leaned back and let my body rest fully. Nothing resisted me, nothing asked me to change. Only this calm continuation, only this quiet belonging. The room stayed open around me, and I stayed open with it. Breathing in, I felt the moment widen. Breathing out, and everything remained whole. Time moved softly through the space, without urgency, without pressure. I didn't need to follow, I didn't need to lead. I let myself remain inside its gentle rhythm, carried without effort, present without resistance, enough without question. The night stayed open. And I stayed open with it, not searching, not holding, just resting quietly inside the softness of now. I saw you standing where the light couldn't reach, like you chose the shadows on purpose. like you trusted darkness more than people. You didn't know I was watching, but I was.
I've learned how to stay unnoticed, how to exist without being remembered. It's easier that way. No expectations, no endings.
But you looked to me like I was already known, like I didn't have to explain the silence I carry. You don't need to tell me what broke you. I can feel it in how you breathe, like part of you is still somewhere else, somewhere you couldn't keep.
Don't turn away now.
You don't need to
Disappear from me.
Don't close the distance if you're the only place I feel free. We are not asking for forever. We are not asking for truth. We are just holding the moment before it slips through. You never tried to impress me. You never tried to stay. You just existed beside me in your own quiet way. That's what made it real. That's what made it fragile. Not something we built, something we found.
I've spent so long being unreachable. I forgot what it feels like to be seen. But when you stood beside me, I wasn't invisible anymore.
Don't promise me you'll stay. Promise me you're here now.
Don't promise me meaning.
Promise me somehow. We don't need to name this feeling. We don't need to make it last. Some connections only live in moments we don't ask. I don't want this to end.
Then don't try to hold it.
What if I lose you?
You already found me.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I'm real.
You're the only moment.
I'm the only moment.
Didn't try to conceal.
We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some people exist forever in a single moment of light. You didn't try to keep me. That's why I stayed long enough to be real.
I remember the exact moment. Everything slowed down. Not the music, not the room. what they expect.
They don't see what's actually there.
But you didn't rush your eyes.
You stayed in the moment,
like you were waiting for something real to reveal itself. I didn't trust the feeling at first.
I've seen too many illusions,
but you didn't move how you want.
you stayed steady,
Even when I didn't.
don't hold me like I'm permanent.
Don't hold me like I might disappear.
Don't promise me protection.
Promise me you're here.
We don't need to define this. We don't need to decide. We just need to exist here before we divide.
You didn't ask me who I was before. You didn't even past.
You saw me in the present when nothing is meant to last.
And somehow that made it easier
Somehow that made it safe
to let you see the parts of me
I never let escape. You don't need to protect yourself from me.
I'm not here to take anything away.
I'm just here in this moment, the same as you.
The same as the way
You stay.
Don't tell me this means nothing. If you feel it in your bones,
You're the only moment
that ever felt clear. We don't belong to certainty.
we belong to tonight.
Some people live forever in a single moment of light. You didn't promise me anything. That's why I believed you. Even if you leave.
Especially if I do. Don't look at me like I'm leaving.
Look at me like I'm here.
You're the only moment
That ever felt clear.
we don't belong to certainty.
We belong to tonight.
Some people live forever
In a single moment of life.
You didn't promise me anything.
That's why I believed you. I believed you.
I didn't expect to feel anything tonight. I came here to disappear, to exist without being remembered. But then you stood there, and something shifted.
I've spent so much time learning how to leave before anyone notices. It's easier that way. No attachment, no fracture.
But when you looked at me, trusted it
like you trusted me. I don't know how to hold on to anything. Everything I loved has slipped away. But you didn't ask me to hold you. You just stayed.
Just promise me honesty.
Just promise me so.
We are not asking for forever.
We are not asking for truth.
We are just two quiet endings,
meeting
something new. I don't wanna forget this.
You won't.
How do you know?
Because you finally felt it.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I'm real. You're the only moment I didn't try to conceal. We don't belong to forever, we belong to tonight. Some people stay with you without staying in your life. You didn't try to keep me. That's why I never needed to run. I didn't notice when you first arrived. You were just another shape in motion, another life passing mine. But something in me turned before I understood why. You move like someone carrying invisible weight, not heavy, just constant. Like you learned how to live beside it without ever putting it down. I didn't wanna interrupt that balance. I didn't wanna be another reason you disappeared. So I stayed still. You didn't reach for me. You didn't need to. You just existed close enough for me to feel it. Close enough to break my distance. Don't say this is meaning, if meaning makes it break. Don't say this is nothing, if nothing's what I can't fake. We are not asking for answers. We are not asking for proof. We are just two fragile moments standing inside something true.
I could feel something opening, something I didn't give permission to, something older than thought, older than fear.
You didn't force it. You didn't name it.
You just stayed long enough for it to breathe.
You don't need to hold on to me. I'm not something to keep. Some moments exist only once, and that's what makes them complete. Don't promise me tomorrow if tomorrow doesn't belong. Don't promise me forever if forever feels wrong. We don't need to survive this.
I don't know how to let this go.
You know don't let it go.
Then what happens?
It becomes part of you. Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I was real.
You're the only moment I allowed myself to feel.
We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some connections live forever in a single second of light. I didn't notice when you left. I only noticed when everything felt different after. You didn't arrive with noise. You arrived with absence, like the night made space for you. Before I even knew your name, I felt it before I saw you. The quiet shift in everything. I've always trusted distance. It never asked questions, never asked me to stay. People do. They expect permanence. They expect something I've never known how to give. But you didn't expect anything. You just stood there like you understood why I was already leaving. You don't need to prepare yourself. I'm not here to trap what can't remain. I'm just here in the moment, the same as you, the same as the way you came. Don't hold me like I belong to you. Hold me like you understand.
Don't say this will last forever. Say it was never planned.
We don't need to build a future. We don't need to repair the past. We just need to stay inside this before it moves too fast.
You didn't try to fill the silence. You let it exist between us.
Most people fear that space. They rush to escape it, but you stayed. And in that stillness, I saw who you really were. I didn't mean to let you see me, not like this, not without the distance. But you didn't take anything. You just stood beside what was already there. Don't promise me certainty, don't promise control. Just promise me honesty, just promise me soul. We are not asking for forever. We are not asking for truth. We are just two quiet endings, finding something new.
Why does this feel like something I can't keep?
Because you were never meant to keep it.
And why did it find me?
Because you were finally ready to feel it. Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I'm real.
You're the only moment
didn't try to conceal. We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some people stay with you without staying in your life. You didn't try to stop me. That's why I never really disappeared.
I didn't feel anything at first. Just another night dissolving into noise. Another version of me.
Another version of me, trying not to exist too loudly.
Then you moved, and everything slowed up.
You weren't trying to be noticed. That's what made you visible. There was no performance in your silence, no attempt to be understood. You just existed, like someone who had already let go of being found. And somehow that made me see you more clearly. I didn't expect you to stay. I didn't expect you to care, but you didn't leave.
Even when I gave you every reason to.
Don't say my name like it belongs to you. Say it like it disappeared.
Don't touch my hand like you're holding on. Touch it like you're already here.
We don't need to make this permanent. We don't need to make it right. We just need to feel this moment before it fades into night.
I'll build entire lives inside my distance.
Entire identities no one could reach.
It was safer then, safer to never be known. But when you stood beside me, something in me stopped hiding. Not because you asked, because you didn't.
You don't need to protect yourself now. I'm not here to break what's fragile. I'm just here in the same moment, feeling the same gravity.
Don't promise me tomorrow.
Tomorrow isn't real.
Don't promise me forever.
Promise me what you feel.
We are not asking for certainty.
We are not asking for time.
We are just two unfinished souls crossing the same line. I don't know how to stay.
You already did. I don't know how to keep this. You don't need to.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving.
Look at me like I was real. You're the only moment I allow myself to feel. We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some connections live forever in a single second of light. You didn't ask me to stay. You just gave me a reason to exist.
You didn't enter the night. You emerged from it.
Like something the dark had been holding until I was ready to see.
was already leaving in my mind, already somewhere unreachable. My body stayed, but nothing inside me did.
That's how I survived, by never fully arriving.
But then your presence touched something, not physically, somewhere deeper,
somewhere I forgot existed.
You didn't need to explain yourself, I could see it in your hesitation. The way you stayed still, like movement might break something fragile inside you.
Don't say this will save you.
I'm not here to repair.
Don't say this will last.
I'm not asking you to care. We don't need to define this. We don't need to survive. We just need to exist here while this moment is alive.
You never asked who I was before. You never needed proof.
Most people search for certainty.
You stayed inside the truth.
You let the silence breathe. You let the distance remain.
You didn't try to own the feeling.
You didn't try to name. I felt something break open inside me.
Not violently,
Not loud,
just enough to let the light in.
Don't promise me
Something stable. Don't promise control.
just promise me honesty.
Just promise me so.
We are not asking for forever.
We are not asking for time.
Some people stay inside you
Long after they leave your life.
You didn't try.
To keep me.
That's why I stayed in you.
You didn't try to keep me.
That's why I stayed in you.
I didn't expect anything to change tonight. I came here carrying the same weight, the same quiet distance. Then you looked at me, like you could hear something I never said.
You weren't trying to be understood. You were trying to remain untouched. I could see it in the way you stood, not guarded, just absent, like part of you had already gone somewhere safer, somewhere no one could reach. But something in you stayed long enough for me to see it. You didn't pull me closer, you didn't pull away. You stayed in that fragile balance where nothing is forced to stay. Don't hold me like you're afraid to lose me. Hold me like you already did.
Don't say this needs forever. Say it exists because it lives.
We are not building something permanent. We are not chasing the end. We are just two quiet strangers, letting ourselves descend.
I've spent so long avoiding reflection, avoiding the truth inside stillness. It's easier to move constantly, easier to never be known. But when you stood beside me, the noise inside me softened. Not gone, just quieter.
You don't need to protect yourself from me. I'm not here to stay. I'm just here in this moment, the same as you, the same fragile way. Don't promise me something stable. Don't promise me control. Just promise me honesty. Just promise me so we don't need to survive this. We don't need to remain.
Some moments exist forever without leaving a name.
Why does this feel like something I'll never forget?
Because you were finally present.
What happens when you disappear?
You'll still have yourself.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I was real.
You're the only silence I didn't try to conceal.
We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some people stay inside you without staying in your life.
You didn't change my direction. You just showed me I was still alive inside it.
There was a space between us before we ever spoke. A quiet recognition neither of us provoked. You didn't try to enter, you didn't try to leave.
You just existed there, long enough for me to grieve. I spent years learning how to disappear without anyone noticing,
Learning how to smile
without ever writing.
But when you stood beside me,
Something in me hesitated,
like the version of myself I buried,
was still waiting to be created. You don't need to protect yourself, I'm not here to break you. I'm just hearing the same silence that somehow remade you. Don't say this will last forever, say you left because it's true. Don't say this needs a future, say it exists between me and you.
we are not searching for answers.
We are not escaping the past.
Ooh, we are just holding a moment.
We know we'll never last.
You never asked me who I used to be. You didn't need to know.
Some truths only exist in what we choose not to show.
You let the silence remain.
You let the distance stay.
You didn't try to change anything.
You just didn't turn away. I didn't know how much I needed this until it was already real.
You didn't ask me to become someone else.
You just let me feel.
Don't promise me permanence. Don't promise control. Just promise me presence.
Just promise me so.
We don't need to belong to forever.
We don't need to define
Some people stay inside you
long after they leave your life.
You didn't try to hold me.
That's why I never needed to escape. And what does it become?
It becomes you.
And what does it become?
It becomes you.
Don't look at me like I'm fading.
Look at me like I was real.
You're the only silence
I allowed
myself to feel. We don't belong to forever.
We belong to tonight.
Some people stay inside you long after they leave. Didn't realize I was drifting until I felt something pull me back. Not force, not fear.
Just you. You look like someone who stopped expecting rescue. Not broken, just done waiting. Your eyes didn't search the room. They stayed inside themselves, like you trusted distance more than closeness.
I didn't want to interrupt that, but something in me moved anyway. You didn't ask me to open, you didn't ask me to remain.
You just existed beside my silence and made it feel safe again. Don't touch me like I belong to you. Touch me like you understand. Don't say this was meant to happen. Say it was never planned.
We don't need to build
Forever,
we don't need to decide. We just need
this fragile moment before it passes us by.
I've learned how to live without connection, how to exist without being seen. It's easier that way, safer to never be known. But when you stood beside me, I felt something unfamiliar. Not hope, not fear, just presence.
You don't need to protect yourself now. I'm not here to stay. I'm just here in this moment, the same as you, the same fragile way.
Don't promise me something permanent. Don't promise control. Just promise me honesty. Just promise me soul. We are not asking for forever. We are not asking for truth.
We are just two open reflections with nothing left to lose.
Why does this feel like
Something I'll never forget, because you're finally present.
what happens when you leave?
You won't be the same. Don't look at me like I'm fading. Look at me like I was real. You're the only silence I didn't try to conceal.
We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some people stay inside you without staying in your life.
You didn't save me. You just showed me. I was still alive.
You didn't walk toward me.
You drifted.
Like gravity didn't fully hold you. Like part of you was somewhere else.
I could feel it before you spoke. That quiet fracture in your presence.
I've learned how to exist without leaving traces, how to move without being remembered.
It wasn't loneliness, it was protection. If no one sees you fully, nothing can disappear. But when your eyes found mine, something in me lost its balance. You didn't ask me to understand. You didn't need explanation. You just let me see you without permission. Don't say my name like it belongs to you. Say it like it might dissolve. Don't hold my hand like you're keeping me. Hold it like you might let go.
We don't need to promise meaning.
We don't need to define. We are just two fragile moments existing outside of time.
You never tried to convince me to stay. You never needed certainty.
You trusted the moment, even while it was fading. That's what made it real.
Not permanence, not intention, just presence.
I didn't realize how far I had drifted until I felt myself return.
Not to who I was, but to something more honest.
Don't promise me forever, don't promise control.
Just promise me truth, just promise me soul.
We are not building something lasting, we are not escaping the past.
So we are just holding a second we know cannot last.
Why does this feel like losing you?
Because you never owned me.
Then why does it matter?
Because you felt me.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I was real.
You're the only silence I allow myself to feel.
We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight.
Some people live inside you long after they leave your life.
You didn't try to keep me.
That's why I never truly left.
I didn't come here to feel anything. I came here to disappear, to let the noise erase me, to let the night carry what I couldn't hold. Then you appeared, and everything hesitated. You look like someone standing between two lives. Not who you were, not who you were becoming. Your body stayed, but your mind was somewhere safer. I could feel it, that quiet distance you wore like armor. I didn't try to break it, I just stayed close enough to exist inside your gravity.
You didn't demand anything from me. You didn't need control. You just existed beside me and made the silence whole.
Don't say this is forever. Forever doesn't belong to us. Don't say this is nothing.
spent years becoming someone unreachable, someone safe from loss.
It's easier when no one sees you clearly, easier when nothing depends on you.
But when you stood beside me, something inside me stopped hiding. Not because you asked, because you didn't.
You don't need to stay for me, you don't need to be sure. Just exist beside the feeling while it's still pure. Don't promise me tomorrow, tomorrow was never mine. Don't promise me certainty, certainty destroys time.
We are not meant to be permanent.
We are not meant to survive. We are just two open reflections,
Meeting while we're alive.
I don't wanna lose this.
You won't,
How can you know?
because it already changed you.
Don't look at me like I'm leaving.
Look at me like I was real.
You're the only moment I didn't try to conceal.
We don't belong to forever.
We belong to tonight. Some people live inside you long after they leave your life. You didn't save me, you just showed me I was never truly gone.
just too fragile. distractions, crossing outside of time. I didn't realize how lost I was until I felt myself return. Not to who I used to be, but to something more real. Don't promise me tomorrow. Tomorrow disappears. Don't promise me forever. Forever was never here. We are not meant to be permanent. We are not meant to stay. We are just two open moments learning how to fade. Why does this feel like losing you? Because you never own me. Then why does it hurt? Because you finally felt me. Don't look at me like I'm leaving. Look at me like I was real. You're the only silence I allow myself to feel. We don't belong to forever. We belong to tonight. Some people live inside you long after they leave your life. I saw you standing in the quiet blue, like you were hiding from the life you knew. Your shadow trembling on the glass, like you were afraid of what might last.
I didn't plan to let you in that night. I was surviving in a smaller light. Every road I walked was closing slow. I stopped believing I could feel anymore.
But I felt your silence call my name, not loud but steady like a distant flame. You never asked me where I'd been. You just made space beneath my skin. I was made of leaving, of unfinished goodbyes, of doors I never turned to face. If I fall into your arms tonight, will you hold the
There is a moment in the fading light where everything between us turned to life. No sound, no warning in the air, just something pulling me somewhere. You never said the words out loud, but I could feel them in the crowd. Your eyes were searching into mine, like you were asking for more time.
I was afraid to let you see too deep, the parts of me I couldn't keep. Every touch felt too close to truth. Every breath was leading back to you.
You don't have to carry every ghost alone. I can hear the silence break.
I was slowly falling without letting go. Now there's nothing left to fake.
When you move closer, I lose control, like gravity pulling through my soul. When you say nothing, I hear it clear. Every unspoken word is here.
We don't need to understand tonight.
We just need to stay inside this moment we cannot explain, when nothing feels the same again.
You changed the rhythm of my chest, turned every fear into unrest. Now every second feels too real, like I forgot how not to feel.
You were always hiding in the space between what you were and who you are.
Now I feel you breathing underneath my skin, like the end of who we were.
When you move closer, I lose control, like gravity pulling through my soul. When you say nothing, I hear it clear. Every unspoken word is here.
We don't need to understand tonight.
We just need to stay inside this moment we cannot explain, where nothing feels the same again. If this disappears with morning light, promise me you felt it too tonight.
Even if it fades into the air,
This was more than we could bear. When you touch me, time dissolves away.